Hello, everyone. I am Christine Roebuck. I'm the founder and CEO of Live My Life Debt Free. I am super excited this evening just to have the opportunity to introduce some masterminds of the Live My Life Debt Free community, very good friends. I'm excited to just share with you what we are doing here tonight and the reason why. Well, this year we're going 2023. I am going to be highlighting Live My Life Debt Free wealth builders who crushed it in 2022. And you're going to find out what I mean by that, especially when you talk to this power couple. There's so many. I interviewed probably 12 or more wealth builders who crushed it in 2022, whether they made a decision to do something different about their finances, whether they just decided that they wanted to clean their their credit report up, increase their credit scores. Whatever it was that they did different than 2021, they're going to be sharing it in their own words. And you're going to have the opportunity to hear their story in their own words. And I'm super excited. And I hope that you'll be able to take some nuggets from what we talk about in this segment and the others that will help you on your journey towards financial independence. So now we're just going to get right into it. I have the privilege to just have a chat here with this power couple, Leslie and Alonzo Parker, very good friends. And when I tell you great stewards of their finances, and they are truly building generational wealth. They teach their children about good money management. I mean, they're very disciplined themselves, but I'm going to let you hear from them tonight. And Alonzo and Leslie, welcome. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so excited.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Great. I want to just say, first of all, that even though we're at the top of the year, well, we are in January, what, 11th, 12th?
12th, yeah, 12th.
Yeah, January 12th. And I know that there's been a lot of New Year's resolutions that have been made. I call them New Year's revelations because I believe that, we should look for God to reveal something to us from the prior year. We should reflect and we should, want to grow from whatever it was that we didn't do or the things that we didn't do in the past year that we want to do better in the coming year, which is now. I know that there are other people out there who probably feel that they didn't meet their goals, that they didn't really do the things that they had, set out to do. What would you say to them? First of all, before we get into the questions and things that you want to share with us, how would you encourage them if they're feeling like, it's the 12th already of the month and I'm really not getting anywhere, so I just don't think I'm going to do anything?
I would first encourage them that every day is a new day. Don't tie everything to January 1st. There's nothing magical that happens on January 1st to change your habits. If you open your eyes the next day, it's a fresh start. You can start there. Don't discourage yourself. You can always start where you are, is what I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think starting today is better than starting tomorrow. You can't change yesterday, but just start today.
Absolutely. I love that. Starting right now is better than starting tomorrow. I'm not even going to add to that. That's awesome. So my question to you, because I have really had the opportunity to just watch you move over the years from one point to the next, and we've grown together along the way in some aspects, through teaching through my former church and such. And it's just been fantastic to just watch you learn new disciplines and stick to it, make commitments to your family to do things differently. I want to ask the question and let you answer it because I don't want to assume. But at one point, do you feel that you had really dug deep into debt and then you decided that that wasn't where you wanted to be? Can you just talk a little bit about that for those who might be watching this and they feel like that they've dug so deep that they can't get out, and it's just, there's no help, there's no lifeline that's coming to them. Can you talk about that? Did you ever dig deep in debt and decide? Because I gotta say, I did hear Alonzo say, when I posed a question in the community, he said he threw away his shovel. That was one of the most powerful things that I've ever heard anybody say about, when I posed a question about if you had dug in, are you digging deeper, or have you stopped digging, something like that. Yeah, are you digging deeper in debt, or have you stopped digging? And he said, I threw away the shovel. Can you talk about that?
That's an important concept. I mean, because, when you're in that hole, you feel like you can't see the light, you don't know. But it's very important that you can stop at that point. You may feel, hey, I'm at the bottom of this hole and I can't go deeper. Yes, you can. You can continue to go down in this hole. So you have to make that conscious decision to tell someone where you are. And that's where the Live My Life Debt-Free community came in, the safe space of allowing us to come to a place to say, this is where I am, transparency, and have other people that are like-minded, that have experienced or even worse than where you are, and have that space. So to throw the shovel away, you make that decision to stop digging at that point and figure out, hey, this is where I am. This is where I'm evaluating my finances. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for my wife. She helped me not only throw away the shovel, but to not bring it back anymore. Because sometimes
awesome.
Go back to it. She's like, oh no, we will never go back to continue digging in that hole.
Yeah. Wonderful. Awesome. Leslie, you want to add anything or share?
I think for me, our approach to finances, we had a totally different approach. So for me, I decided I didn't want to pick up the shovel ever in my life. I can remember back in 1995 being at Old Dominion University, being a freshman, and they had a whole booth set up, and it was for the city card. You get your free t-shirt and you get this card that puts you into, so, I said, sign me up for the card. And back then, it was maybe clothes or movies on the weekend. And I can remember a shirt that I purchased from Express. And back then I thought, less than $20 for a shirt is a good price. So the shirt was probably less than $20, but I didn't pay it off right away. And here you are 2 months later, now that shirt costs another $1 and another 25 cents. And I'm still paying for this $15 shirt. It's starting to add up. And thank God, for the revelation that that's not how I wanted to live.
That's
and
right.
I just decided if I can't pay it off when the bill comes in full, then it was something I didn't need.
Wow. And that, you make a great point, because that's where a lot of times people dig deeper when they don't pay it off. It's, I think that it's not a conscious, it's not being thought of with clear eyes, when it's not paid off, that they're actually digging deeper, because the interest is compounding, and that $15 shirt all of a sudden can cost you $45 if you don't pay it off with, if you just continue to make the minimum payment. And at some points they say, oh, well, you don't have a payment due. So, but the interest is still ticking up. So that, that is that's a great point. And I think that you, Leslie, alluded to why, because the next question was, why did you decide to stop? You said that, hey, it's not the life that I want to live. I don't know, Alonzo, if you want to elaborate on that, or if it was something else that came to, to the forefront of your mind, Leslie, that you want to add to that. Were there any other reasons why you decided that you wanted to stop? Because I believe there are others that, are watching, probably is making that decision now, or don't really know if they need to make the decision. So anything else?
I would definitely have to agree and even elaborate more on just understanding the interest, that if you have a 20% credit card, that $1, if you just use a simple math, the $1 is now $1.20 that you're paying back with the interest rate. And when I'm understanding that this $1 that I borrowed, I'm paying $1.20 for this $1, just didn't make sense for me. I said, I just cannot continue to pay more back than what I'm borrowing. And it was just that revelation for me to understand the compound, as you said, Sister Christy, understanding the compound interest of how much you don't think it's a really big deal, but those continue to add up over time.
Yes, it does. I mean, that 20 cents, I mean, if you just start to multiply, I mean, it will multiply, but if you multiply that 20 cents times, because it's not just, per month, not 20 cents per month. Most are like days, compounded daily, so Leslie?
I guess I would say it's part of also kind of living in your truth. For me, if there's a shirt that I'm still paying all these months later, isn't there another shirt that really fits my budget and it's really me? I'm really walking in my truth of who I am. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses, which my maiden name was Jones, but not having that keeping up with the Joneses mindset and really walking in your truth. Now when we talk about clothes, we talk about cost per wear. Right. So, you might spend a little more on a shirt, but we really get our cost per wear,
That's powerful. Tell us about the cost per wear.
I mean, I think for us is maybe we buy a shirt now and 3 years later, you still see us wearing that shirt. It's clean, and we have the money to probably buy many more shirts, but we have that money because we've saved, because we're not digging in debt. And now we can spend that money to travel or do something we enjoy, put it away for the kids' college fund or, retirement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's your why. That's one of the reasons why you stopped digging, right? Because you had bigger plans. You have greater goals. You have your children, right? So you said something that is key. Bigger plans. You had, So I think I want to move to the point to talking about, and I think this kind of is a segue into how you crushed it. So, I mean, can you just share a little bit, because your testimony that you sent talked a little bit about it, but when you said, Leslie, that there were greater goals, one of those greater goals, was that something that in 2022 where you crushed it? Was that part of your greater goals? I mean, can you tell everyone how you crushed it in 2022? And was that one of your greater goals? I'm trying not to say it, but because I want you to say it.
Well, you said my name, so I guess I'll put it out there. So we sold a property, one of our properties that we owned. We had held on to it for quite some time as a rental property. And, we gained the income over the years. A lot of it went back into the house for maintenance, but ultimately we wanted to invest in a short-term rental. And the best way that we could see at the time was to sell that house and use that profit towards our short-term rental. And we thought that we get a better return on investment that way. So we're actually in the market now, and we have the funds because we held on to this property. We owned it, the person that was living in the house, when they paid rent, they were paying our mortgage and a little bit more. And we held on to it for many years. And it's waiting now, for that down payment and to furnish our short-term rental.
Awesome. I just love it. I love this. And I'm going to put a little pin in this, because as you were talking and you said that the home that was your rental that was paid off, it was paid in full. you had enough to make your mortgage and some. So I want to just say to those individuals, because I often ask, or people will say, well, my home is an asset. It's not an asset unless it's bringing in income. And that is exactly what you had accomplished. Powerful. That to me is really crushing it. I didn't even know that part. So Alonso.
Yeah, we were excited. And I think if I could just put a plug in for couples, just having these conversations to be transparent. Sometimes your vision, if you share it with your significant other, you have this vision, they can add to that vision or redirect your vision and like, oh, this home was never going to be sold in my mind. Like we're not selling that house. And asking Leslie her thoughts and her opinions, and we came to the decision to be able to sell this, and it was something I had never even thought about. So I'm thankful that we are at a space where we were not before. I want to encourage couples that I was ego driven. I got it. I don't, my wife, I know what I'm doing. I got it. No, I didn't. And so she was able to come alongside me and meet me where I was and began to continue to build me up as well as us up. And that was just huge for us to change our direction, our strategy, and be able to crush it in 2022.
Awesome. I mean, that's an awesome note to end on. I mean, because you said a couple of keywords, strategy. I mean, without a strategy, there's no way to even work your way towards crushing it. You have to have a strategy, and I just appreciate how both of you have, you're on the same page. You obviously, that you're both working towards the same goal, and you both are listening to one another. And I know this isn't just for couples, this interview at all, it's for anyone. But I think it's very important for couples who watch this to hear what you're saying and really take heed to it, because you both add value to the table. When you come to the table, you both have value, and it's important to listen to your wife. I mean, God gave her to you for a reason.
Don't end it. Keep going.
What's that?
I said, Chris. I like this part.
It is not good for men to live. You gain so much favor. I mean, it's just the word from the Lord. And I'm not just talking to you, but I'm talking to every husband out there, who found a good thing, in their wife, and they gain favor from the Lord. So the final decision is ultimately the head of the household, but you have to listen to what your wife is saying. And I'm just saying, and the same thing, the wife has to listen to the husband. And it doesn't mean that we're always going to agree with you. And like I said, it's not just for couples, but I think that everyone should listen to it. So when you do get married, for those who are engaged, and you're listening to this, but when the husband makes the final decision, whether we like it or not, he answers to God if it's a wrong decision. But it is fair to hear what your wife has to say, because it is meaningful. Yes.
Is small steps create large steps. And what I want to say is, don't just pay that minimum payment. I know we've been talking a lot about credit card debt, but to be honest, a lot of people are in credit card debt.
Absolutely.
We hide it, but that's where a lot of the debt is. Right. And some steps really quickly, Sister Chris, is that the minimum, say if your minimum payment is $100, what I challenge myself to do is, if the minimum payment was $100, if you paid $5 a day for 30 days, that's $150 versus the $100. And that $50 times 12 months is $600 that you pay against this credit card. And I'm telling you, that is what I did to begin to pay down debt. Is I did something daily. You chase it. Mm-hmm. So people say, well, you pay your credit card every day. Yeah, I put $5 and it didn't seem like, oh man, this $100 is coming. I paid $5 every day for 30 days, which helped me gain an extra $50. So those little steps, start where you are to begin to knock that debt out.
Now I want to add one thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I want to add something because you talked about couples that are engaged, you know, they're getting ready to be married.
Mm-hmm.
We did it together. I felt like when we got married, his debt became our debt. And so we both paid it together. Even though I hadn't accumulated the debt, I truly felt like,
wow,
my life partner.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whoever you've married, they may not be able to do it on their own, or they can't do it as well or efficiently and as fast as if you were to help them. And so, I mean, we are in the place that we are together. The good, the bad, you know, it's both of us.
Right. Absolutely. That's another great point. And, you know, so when I get ready to call you back for this couples interview for married couples, married Christian couples, answer the phone. Because that, I mean, it is so key, and we could go on another 30 minutes about that and about the importance of working together, because you are exactly right. It does become your debt. When you get married, it's not just one person's, you know, it's your debt and my debt over. No, it does become both. So that's a powerful statement. And thank you so much for bringing that out. Listen, I really appreciate once again, you all coming on tonight, being transparent, just sharing from your heart about how you crushed it in 2022. And I know, I'm just going to let you say, I know that you have already prepared yourself to crush it in 2023. Can you give us one last way, just one more thing, one way that you have plans to crush it in 2023?
So I mean, a few hours ago, I was on the phone with my manager at work, and I reminded her that what I'm working towards is the promotion to the next level, which, you know, comes with promotion dollars. And, you know, I think being a champion and advocate for yourself, you know, letting people know where you're trying to go and not letting them forget, because, you know, there are 10 other me's on her team that also probably want a promotion, but I just want to let her know that's my vision, and I plan to partner with her and, you know, get there ASAP.
GEM, Alonzo, you are a blessed man. Jim, you have a gem. I love it. Not GYM, GEM. I love it. You know, you have value. You know, you are an asset, and hardly anybody, I want to say probably a few people will go and, you know, put themselves out there like that. I love that. I love it. Yeah, you already crushed it. You've already crushed it. That's huge. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alonzo.
Oh, no, we've already talked about, and we're not shameful of our age at 45. We are looking at the next 10 years, and we're looking at our exit strategy to begin living our life at 55 and begin to travel more. So we're going to crush it as far as, meeting with you and setting up our goals and being clear and asking it. We're speaking it of where we want to be in the next 10 years to begin to enjoy life. We don't want to wait any longer. We're going to do that. And we're claiming it.
So, and Leslie, thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited about all of the progress that you've made in 2022, and I'm looking forward to just watching you crush 2023.